Hi everyone, I'm Suzanne Neufang, broadcasting live from the GBTA Conference here in Hamburg, Germany. And here joining me is Jason Long, who's SVP of Business Development for the HRS Group. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you, Suzanne. Pleasure to be back.
HRS is, of course, an advocate for integrated platform approaches to leverage technology in the everyday optimization of managed travel programs. So tell us more about why HRS feels that that's an important space to fill within this industry.
How long have you got? It's 2023. It's about time that this industry used modern, disruptive technologies to change the way things are done. If you look at the hotel side of things, Suzanne, the majority of corporates out there are essentially using providers that are using technologies that have been there for the last 20, 30 years. And when it comes to negotiating hotels and then putting your staff into that hotel, it sounds quite simple, but behind the scenes, you've got many different legacy players there. You have the companies themselves negotiating with third-party ERFP systems to the hotels. The hotels have to load that in a distribution platform, primarily the GDS, but that's not enough. We know also the TMCs are using OTAs and different sources to book hotels. We have third-party rebooking payment services on top of that. If you think about it, I've just described there 10, 15 different organizations that are trying to make the process simple of negotiating a rate and making that rate available in a hotel. It's complicated and it's inefficient. So we think by having one platform that addresses all those needs, it can create efficiencies and simplicities and also drive a better experience for the end traveler, which is key.
Yeah, ultimately it's about the business traveler and making their journey better or smarter. We know certainly from a European perspective that the EU's Corporate Security Reporting Directive, I know it as CSRD, arrives in just 6 weeks from now. And that will be when companies are made to start compiling their statistics around their emissions data. So when it comes to corporates who are located here in the European Union, Schengen area, what's your view on readiness? And what do you think corporates have to do to actually be ready?
Yeah, good question. I think you want to divide that into two. From an airline point of view, I think it's quite well under control. If you think about it, there are roughly 250 airlines in the world that correspond to 95% of all international flights. Within that, there's a handful of manufacturers in terms of plane manufacturers and a handful of engine manufacturers. So it's quite well documented the CO2 impact or the sustainability impact in that industry. I think most of the corporates at GBTA this week will have good access to information with respect to what they're doing in terms of sustainability on flights. If you look at the hotel side, where we specialize in HRS, it's much more fragmented. There's at least 600,000 hotels on this planet that we know about, even more types of accommodation if you bring in third-party accommodation or alternate accommodation types. So basically, it's very complicated to get the sustainability impact of putting my travelers into some accommodation or a hotel. That's why in HRS we created the HRS Green Stay, which is a mechanism for any hotel, not just the chain hotels and the bigger hotels that have resources to manage sustainability, but also the smaller regional hotels, the independent hotels, who before we came along found it very difficult to basically to collate what they're doing in terms of sustainability and then sharing that to the corporate community so the corporate community can make some informed decisions. So what we've done, as we extract this information from the hotels, and we do that on energy consumption, waste management processes, water consumption, all the things that impact CO2 emissions, we take that information and we put it into a procurement platform so corporate buyers can now start to evaluate which hotels are more sustainable than others when they design their program. But also importantly, we've put these metrics into very easy to understand images within the booking flow. So a traveller who doesn't know anything about the CO2 emissions of a hotel can make an informed decision as they choose which hotel they want to stay. Because they see it in little tiny green leaves within Concur or Amadeus Citric or Neo or whichever booking tool they decide to use.
So again, ease of use for the traveller makes it easier for the corporate buyer as well.
It's all about making it easier of use for the traveller. At the end of the day, the travellers need a better experience, a more informed experience, and hopefully that's where we can help.
Certainly one other thing that HRS is concerned about is helping buyers plan the year ahead. And with the European space being full of inflationary pressures, with 2 wars now to worry about, with other dynamics, sustainability is one that we talked about. What is HRS seeing in terms of the outlook for business travel and hotels specifically?
Well, where's your crystal ball? I think the only predictable thing is unpredictability. And for that reason, what we're trying to provide is transparency for our corporate customers on a platform that can give them a real-time view. Most corporates, when they come to us, and it's certainly on the hotel side, if you say, what are you doing today with your travelers? Where are they staying? What are they purchasing? How much have they paid? What did they pay for in the hotel? You would not be able to get that information in real time. Normally it would take months, if that, to get that view. So what we're trying to do is we're building a platform where every transaction, every search, every negotiation, every payment is captured on the platform. So as procurement specialists and travel managers, you get a real-time view. So when there are changes, if there is unfortunately a war in a particular market, or inflation goes through the roof, or really high occupancy in a particular destination, so the prices go through the roof, you can see that fast and make informed decisions. And that's basically what we do at HRS.
Well, with that, Jason, that will be the last word. Thank you for joining us.
Suzanne, always a pleasure. Congratulations on a great show.
Thank you. With that, I'm Suzanne Neufang, broadcasting live from our GBTA conference here in Hamburg, Germany.